Welcome back to Charisma College. In our last video, we showed you the techniques you can use to win people over in any situation. Today, we'll be teaching you how to remain cool under pressure by looking at the master of calm himself, Prince Andrew.
If they were
The man does not crack.
And if
Despite being outed as a sexual abuser, Prince Andrew's powerful personality and self-mastery enables him to weather any scandal.
I don't sweat.
You sure don't, buddy. Let's take a look at the Prince of PR in action and see techniques that you can use in your own life to remain cool under pressure, no matter the situation. Here, the interviewer is challenging the prince on his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein.
Why were you staying with a convicted sex offender?
Right. It was a convenient place to stay.
We've all been there, brother. Here is the first technique that the Duke of York employs to great effect. Be relatable.
And I admit fully that my judgment was probably coloured by my tendency to be too honourable.
You know what it's like. You're away from Buckingham, it's late, the jet's in the shop, you need a place to crash, and any mansion will do. But despite being totally knackered, our weary traveller never faltered in his righteous quest.
Now I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted, it was inappropriate for us to be seen together.
It might seem a funny way to break off a friendship, a 4-day house party of sorts.
No, it was a shooting weekend.
A shooting weekend.
Just a straightforward shooting weekend.
Now that was a close call, but this wascally wabbit is just way too smooth. And this brings us to our second technique. Always trap your opponent with your clever brain smarts.
When was your last contact with her?
It was earlier this year, funny enough, in the summer, in the spring, summer.
So even though he had by then been arrested and was facing charges of sex trafficking?
No. This was early spring, I think. It was long, because when was he arrested?
July.
No, it was before July.
Try those Steven Tyler May. They are simply no match for the would-be king's mighty lobster brain. But we can't all be stable geniuses like Prince Andrew. So if you do find yourself being interviewed on TV about your alleged abuses of underage women and you are in a bit of a bind, I have one last trick for you to pull out of your sleeve. But first, a message from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by Salmon Space. Whether you're a web designer or a salmon seller or a salmon selling salmon, Salmon Space's award-winning templates give you the sound salmon systems for a saucy salmon session. Nothing says salmon with soul or sells salmon successfully like Salmon Space. And now let's take a look at our final technique, seen here demonstrated by another legendary Zen master / sexual predator.
Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my family.
Robert.
When all else fails, here's what you do. Throw a major tantrum.
You killing me, man. This is not about music.
If they can't hear you in Finland, you're not crying loud enough. It's just not fair, is it? Why should the others be allowed to play outside if you left your hat at home? The fun's over. Scream, shout, shut the party down. And remember, words are totally meaningless anyway.
You've seen the photo.
I've seen the photograph.
How do you explain that?
I can't.
Just make the silly mouth noises and hope the problem goes away.
Basement and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle.
You are a prince, beholden to no law of man. For though the barbarians besiege the gates, you stand defiant. You are the last remaining bastion of decency and order. Come though they may, you shall not falter in your holy purpose, for no man, woman, or god
can shake the earth on which you walk. The power of Baal surrounds you. With the forces of darkness and the aforementioned interview techniques, your conquest shall know no horizon.
Use promo code IAMCHOSEN at checkout for 20% off Salmon Space and conquer today. Today we'll be looking at one of the most charismatic people in the history of Australian politics, Barnaby Joyce. You can't deny the man is so damn charming. And I think that charisma and ability to captivate people is a big part of the reason Barnaby's been able to connect with voters and successfully impregnate multiple women.